The story opens in Taiwan's bustling capital, Taipei. Here, a powerful seafood tycoon named Kuang faces trial for violating the national ban on net fishing. Furious at his lawyers for their failure, Kuang loses his temper and calls his wife, Joey. But Joey doesn't answer. Instead, she's at a luxury car showroom, taking a Ferrari out for a test drive. Her passion for speed and her extraordinary driving skills immediately impress the salesman, who watches in disbelief as she maneuvers the car with precision. When she finally stops, Joey calmly remarks that the car's timing feels slightly off. Within an hour, the staff adjusts it to her liking. Joey then drives the Ferrari home, where Kuang is already waiting. He informs her that his court hearings officially began that day. Joey asks who the snitch was, and Kuang's gaze falls directly on her. Joey reminds him that a wife can't testify against her husband. Kuang lets the matter drop but questions whether she truly needed a new Ferrari. Joey smiles and says she bought it for him, wishing him a happy birthday. Later, she visits her son, Raymond. Though she loves him deeply, he's busy packing, convinced Kuang will soon go to prison. He accuses his stepfather of destroying the marine ecosystem, but Joey tries to soothe him. When Raymond asks why she married Kuang, she admits that years ago, when they were desperate, Kuang was the one who helped them. Raymond presses further about his real father. Joey avoids the subject. All he knows is that his biological father was a pastry chef who died in a car accident. The story shifts to Minneapolis, where a bloodied man named John is handcuffed by police, until another officer intervenes, revealing John is an undercover agent. His partner, Officer Santiago, lies critically injured. When questioned by his superior, John explains what happened. Santiago had been recording evidence but accidentally dropped his badge. The gangsters spotted it, and their cover as chefs was blown. A violent fight erupted. John, armed only with a wok, fended off the attackers with raw skill and improvisation. At one point, he even paused mid-fight to take a drink of water before continuing. He defeated them one by one, even setting one gangster on fire, causing chaos in the restaurant. As a DEA agent, John interrogated one of the thugs about Kuang Enterprises, but the man revealed nothing. Another gangster suddenly opened fire, sending water gushing from burst pipes across the restaurant. Amid the chaos, John rescued a goldfish from a shattered aquarium. Later, John and his superior, Officer Charlotte, raided a warehouse and discovered Kuang's drug shipments hidden inside canned seafood. Meanwhile, news of the seizure reached Kuang, deepening his problems. That night, he approached Joey to thank her for the birthday gift and tried to rekindle their relationship. Joey, however, no longer loved him. Kuang reminded her that for 15 years he had taken care of her and Raymond, and that reminder softened her resolve. Elsewhere, John received intelligence about a new informant inside Kuang's organization, offering to hand over Kuang's secret ledger. John told Charlotte, but she doubted the lead's authenticity. John insisted they follow it, proposing a trip to Taipei. Charlotte refused, warning him that after what happened 15 years ago, he could never return there. She instead ordered him to take a vacation, rewarding him for his successful operation. John agreed, but at the airport, it became clear that his destination was Taipei. Back in Taiwan, Raymond entered Kuang's study and began fiddling with a rhino figurine when Kuang suddenly appeared. Caught off guard, Raymond claimed he'd only come to borrow a pencil sharpener. Kuang handed him one and suggested they play golf sometime, but Raymond refused. He despised Kuang. Meanwhile, Joey was watching the news when she suddenly spotted John's face on the screen. In that instant, memories from her past came flooding back. John had already landed in Taipei and checked into a hotel, waiting for a contact who was supposed to deliver the ledger at precisely 5 p.m. That evening, Joey sat looking at old photographs of herself and young Raymond, until Kuang called her into his office. There, he revealed a shocking truth: the informant was none other than her own son, Raymond. Joey refused to believe it, until Kuang showed her the CCTV footage as proof. Raymond shouted in fury, accusing Kuang of destroying the ocean's ecosystem and killing dolphins. Kuang snapped, shouting, "To hell with your dolphins. Where is my ledger?" Joey quickly stepped in, asking Kuang to give her a minute, promising she'd talk to Raymond herself. She tried to convince her son to hand it over, but Raymond said, "Mom, I just need 5 minutes." By then, the ledger will already be with Agent John. The mention of John's name startled Joey. Raymond pleaded again for just those 5 minutes, so Joey distracted Kuang to buy him time. She began insulting him, saying that after marrying him she had started smoking, that cigarette smoke was disgusting, yet Kuang's own stench was even worse. She couldn't stand him coming near her. Hearing this, one of Kuang's employees laughed. Enraged, Kuang turned on the man and killed him brutally. Then Kuang pointed a gun at Raymond, demanding to know where the ledger was. Raymond confessed that through a friend, he had already sent it to a hotel. At that exact moment, the doorbell rang in John's room. The ledger was lying right at his doorstep. John opened the door, stunned to see what he had been searching for finally in his hands. Meanwhile, Kuang prepared to punish Raymond, threatening to cut off his limbs with a sword. But Joey struck down another guard, grabbed his gun, and aimed it at Kuang, ordering him to let them go. Kuang sneered, saying she wouldn't dare shoot him. In that moment, Raymond attacked from behind, knocking Kuang unconscious. Joey and Raymond seized the Ferrari and raced toward the hotel, but Kuang's men had already arrived there. Inside, John was photographing the ledger's pages when the gangsters loaded their guns and knocked on a door, but it was the wrong one. Frustrated, they stormed to the front desk, asking about the new American guest. Soon, John's doorbell rang again. This time, it was Joey and Raymond. The instant John saw Joey, he froze. He opened the door and asked what had happened to her face. Joey told him Kuang already knew the ledger was with him and had sent men to kill him. That's when John realized Joey was now Kuang's wife. Raymond, confused and overwhelmed, struggled to process everything. Suddenly, Kuang's men arrived. John pulled Joey and Raymond inside and hid them in the bathroom. The thugs opened fire on the door and called Kuang, reporting that his wife was inside. Kuang ordered, "Bring my wife to me. Kill the others." The first bullet hit one of John's teammates. Another agent tried to fight back but was quickly overpowered and killed. From inside the bathroom, John threw out a red smoke grenade. The gangsters fired blindly into the bathroom. John retaliated by tossing a real grenade outside. In the confusion, he led Joey and Raymond into the air vents to escape. On the way out, he sabotaged the elevator and broke the stairwell door handle to slow down their pursuers. By then, police had surrounded the hotel. Amid the chaos, Joey finally revealed the truth: John was Raymond's real father. Police monitoring the CCTV camera spotted them, but before they could reach them, the three had already fled in the Ferrari. The police cars chased, but Joey's masterful driving, just as shown at the beginning, gave them the upper hand. Inside the car, Raymond complained, "All this time I've been taking cooking classes because I thought my dad was a dead pastry chef." "But you're not dead, and you're not even a chef." John replied, "Actually, I was a pastry chef for 1 month." Then, suddenly, Joey crashed their Ferrari into a pizza delivery scooter. Meanwhile, Kuang hacked into the city's traffic cameras to locate the Ferrari. His men intercepted one, but when they stopped it, they found only the pizza delivery boy inside. Joey had given him the Ferrari. The three had already escaped through the metro. They reached a parking garage, where John knocked out the security guard while Joey broke into a car. Raymond stared at them in disbelief and asked, "Who exactly are you two?" They sped off. On the road, John confronted Joey, demanding why she'd never told him she was pregnant. Joey fired back, "You never gave me the chance." Frustrated, she scolded him, saying, "You need to fix all this." But John simply smiled and drifted off. When he woke up, he was in a hospital. They were now in Joey's home village, which made it a safe place. John had lost a lot of blood the previous night, but Raymond, who shared his blood type, had donated his own. Pretending to sleep, Raymond secretly listened as Joey and John argued nearby. Just then, other patients came to thank Joey. She was the hospital's owner and its main benefactor. After John recovered, they went to Joey's family home, where her grandmother, Papau, was waiting. Raymond met his great-grandmother for the first time. Inside the old house, he even noticed an antique buggy parked near the porch. Surprised, he asked why his mother had never brought him there before. John also reunited with one of his cousins. That evening, as the family gathered for dinner, Raymond finally asked the question that had been weighing on his heart. He wanted to know everything, so Joey began telling him about her younger days. Back then, her grandmother Pin never allowed her to go near the water. So instead, Joey spent her childhood learning to drive and became a skilled mechanic. But one day, in their small fishing village, a package filled with drugs washed ashore. Pa quickly hid it, fearing the police would arrest the villagers. Eventually, however, the gang that owned the drugs came back to retrieve them. Terrified they might take Joey away, Pa forced her to run. While escaping, Joey accidentally killed one of the gang members. The others chased after her, and she used her driving skills to evade them for miles, weaving through roads and alleys. But in the end, they trapped her buggy from both sides. Instead of killing her, they offered her a job as their driver. A few years later, she met John. From there, John took over the story. He explained that he had been tracking a drug shipment, posing as a client to follow a car carrying narcotics. Behind the wheel of that car was none other than Joey. The moment they saw each other, it was love at first sight. Thinking John was a rival, Joey rammed his car and sent him crashing. But later, she returned and pulled him from the wreck. That was when she gave him CPR, and in that instant, they shared their first kiss. From there, John and Joey began remembering all their kisses. John accidentally forgot the fifth one, so Joey teased him and reminded him. Raymond interrupted, asking, "Then why did you two break up?" Joey replied, "For some people, work mattered more than family." And John added quietly, "And for some people, they didn't even know they had a family." The next day, Pa put both John and Raymond to work shelling beans. As they worked, they talked about fish. John said, "I actually saved a fish a few days ago." Raymond quickly corrected him. "Dolphins aren't fish, they're mammals like us." Every year, Kuang's fishing boats kill nearly 650,000 dolphins. Just then, John heard the sound of Joey's old buggy starting. He went over to her and asked her to tell him everything that had happened after their last day together. The story shifted back to 15 years earlier, the last time John and Joey had seen each other. Both had something to confess. Joey told him to go first. John revealed the truth. "I'm a DEA agent. I came after you because of your cartel ties, to gather information. And now the DEA wants me to arrest you." Hearing this, Joey broke down in tears. "So you were just using me?" John admitted, "Yes, but only at the beginning. Then I truly fell in love with you." He urged her, "Take my car. Leave now. Go far away from here." Confused and heartbroken, Joey did as he said and fled. What John didn't know was that Joey had planned to tell him about her pregnancy that very day. But before she could, he had already sent her away. Back in the present, John asked, "Why didn't you tell me?" Joey replied, "What difference would it have made? You would have arrested me. Raymond would have been born in prison." She explained that she had turned to Kuang only to protect her son. Finally, John and Joey agreed to rebuild their family, no more secrets between them. Just then, Kuang received a phone call. The police wanted to question him about the hotel shootout. Hearing this, Kuang stepped into Joey's bathroom, where he found an old photograph of Joey and John from their younger days. Meanwhile, Joey and John were lying together when Raymond suddenly walked in. John quickly hid under the bed, where he discovered Joey's escape plan, fake passports and hidden cash. John confronted her. "We promised no more secrets." Joey replied, "This is just my backup plan." But John told her firmly, "This time, I'm not leaving you alone." Elsewhere, the police chief questioned Kuang about why his bodyguards had been at the hotel during the shootout. Kuang claimed they weren't on duty then, and what they did in their free time wasn't his responsibility. Coldly, he added, "What you should be asking is who killed my bodyguards, not why they were there." Then Kuang revealed John's true identity to the police. He said John was an agent and that his men had died protecting his wife from being kidnapped, because John was actually Raymond's biological father. Afterward, Kuang ordered his men to search Joey's village. Back at the village, John asked Raymond if there were any other ledgers. They needed solid proof to bring Kuang down. Raymond said, "His rhino, the rhino statue in Kuang's office." John immediately understood, it wasn't just a statue, it was a hard drive. Just then, Kuang's men arrived in the village. They even spotted Joey, but John quickly pressed a gun to one man's head, stopping him from reporting back to Kuang. It was then they realized Raymond was missing. He had taken his cousin's bike and ridden straight to Kuang's office. There, Raymond managed to find the hard drive, but Kuang caught him. Kuang then called John and proposed a deal. He would release Raymond in exchange for John walking away from Joey and disappearing from their lives forever. Reluctantly, John agreed. They planned to swap Raymond for John, but Joey was heartbroken. She didn't want to lose him again. Still, they had no other choice. Finally, John and Joey met Kuang for the exchange, but Raymond was locked inside Kuang's car. Kuang had no intention of letting them go. He planned to take both Joey and Raymond with him. John protested, "That wasn't our deal." Kuang snapped, "Don't talk to me about deals." Then he began recounting their shared past. Years ago, when Joey was first captured by the gang, Kuang had been their leader. She had killed his best driver, and he needed a replacement. With her skill and knowledge of cars, Joey was perfect. At the time, Joey thought Kuang had killed her grandmother, Pa. But Kuang denied it. "I'm not a monster," he said. "Pa was perfectly safe." Then he told her, "I'll always protect your family and give you the life you deserve." We could have been a great team. It became clear Kuang had been infatuated with Joey from the very beginning, and now, he was ready to kill John. Taking Joey with him, he prepared to leave. But John wasn't about to be separated from his family again. From a distance, he shot the driver of Kuang's car. Kuang took the wheel himself, shouting furiously, "We were supposed to be family, and you do this to me?" His voice burned with betrayal, though part of him still wanted to start over. John chased them through the alleys, finally catching up. But in the chaos, Kuang managed to grab the USB drive and escape. John searched for him near a toy store. Kuang slipped away, but John soon noticed a girl who had fallen inside a theater. That meant Kuang was there. John tracked him down, drew his gun, and declared, "You're under arrest." Kuang calmly replied, "This isn't about some fishing case. This is personal. I loved Joey for 15 years, and then you came along." He taunted John, "Go on, shoot me. Pull the trigger." Instead, John tossed his gun aside, and the two men clashed in a brutal hand-to-hand fight. Inside the theater, only an elderly couple remained, thinking they were watching a thrilling 3D action movie. Before long, John overpowered Kuang and won the fight. The old man in the audience even cheered. Moments later, the police arrived and arrested Kuang. At the station, John sat in handcuffs when his superior called. "I told you to go on vacation, but instead you went rogue," she scolded. John replied, "I've got everything on this USB, all of Kuang's records." After a pause, she sighed. "Fine. I'll handle it. But you need to disappear for a few weeks." Later, John reunited with Joey and Raymond. Together, they set off on their very first family trip. During their vacation, Joey turned to John and said softly, "I'm pregnant." John stared at her in shock. "Are you sure the baby's mine?" Joey smiled and replied, "Does it matter?